Good morning viewers, I am Dr. Harsh. Today we are going to discuss hip bone, right? So we have two hip bones, right and left, hip bone or pelvic bone, right? So I have already discussed you people in the video of sacrum, how it articulates with the right and left hip bone, how sacrum articulates, right? So this is articulated hip bone and this is individual bone. I will show you how it fits into with the sacrum. So pubic symphysis, both of the pubic symphysis, they will meet in the midline like this, right? Oh, it's of same side, that's why it's not fitting into this. So this is the right side hip bone. Auricular surface of this hip bone articulates with this auricular surface of this side, and the opposite side hip bone auricular surface will fit into the auricular surface of this bone, right? And the pubic symphysis meet in the midline, right? So this is of right side also, so it will not fit auricular this side and will form this articulated pelvis. Now I will describe the pelvis individually, hip bone individually, right? So first we have to know how to hold it in anatomical position. So as we all know, hip bone has three parts, right? Ilium, ischium, and this one is pubis. Ilium, ischium, and this one is pubis, right? So ilium part is the uppermost and fanned out part, right? This one is the ischium part and this is pubis. Ilium forms 2/5 of the bone. Ischium also forms 2/5. 1/5 part is formed by the pubic bone. So it is an irregular bone, right? So likewise, this is acetabulum. It should be directed laterally, right? Pubic symphysis should be directed in front, right? And the ilium part is directed backwards, right? So we have to put our thumb, this is the greater sciatic notch, right? We have to put the thumb in greater sciatic notch and near the acetabulum to hold it in an anatomical position, right? So for holding it in an anatomical position, one thing is we should take care that pubic tubercle and anterior superior iliac spine, this is anterior superior iliac spine, they should lie in same coronal plane. Coronal plane means flat surface, like this is table, I'm placing it on this is this coronal plane, so they should lie in same coronal plane, pubic tubercle and ASIS, so they lie in same coronal plane. So this is the coronal plane, they lie in same coronal plane, so this is its anatomical position. When we hold the articulated pelvis, we hold it like this because ASIS and pubic tubercle, they lie in same coronal plane. Likewise our sacrum, its anatomical position is also forwards and downwards, right? So automatically when we place ASIS and pubic tubercle in same coronal plane, the sacrum becomes forwards and downwards, right? So we hold it in by placing our thumb in greater sciatic notch and near the appurator foramen, near the acetabulum, and ASIS and pubic tubercle, they lie in the same coronal plane. This is its anatomical position. So it is of right side, right? Now let's start with the ilium. So ilium has two ends, anterior and posterior end, right? Three surfaces, pelvic surface, gluteal surface or dorsal surface, and sacropelvic surface, and three borders, anterior border, middle border, posterior border, right? We have two ends, upper end and lower end, three borders, anterior, middle and posterior border, three surfaces, iliac surface, sacropelvic surface and dorsal or gluteal surface, right? Three surfaces, three borders, two ends, upper and lower end, right? Now the upper end is in the form of a crest which is called iliac crest. So it has outer lip, inner lip and intermediate area, right? So it has iliac crest has outer lip, inner lip and intermediate area, right? So this is called iliac tuberosity or tubercle, which lies 5 cm behind the anterior superior iliac spine, right? So anterior border has two spines, anterior superior iliac spine, anterior inferior iliac spine. Similarly, posterior surface have posterior superior iliac spine, posterior inferior iliac spine, right, which ends into the greater sciatic notch. Now come to this is the crest upper border, this is the lower border. This is anterior, we have finished. This is the medial border. Anterior border extends from the anterior superior iliac spine to anterior inferior iliac spine, right? Posterior border extends from posterior superior iliac spine to posterior inferior iliac spine, right? Middle border extends from this tuberosity or high spot on the iliac crest to the iliopubic eminence. So this is the middle border, anterior, middle and posterior border, right? Now come to the dorsal surface. On the dorsal surface, this dorsal surface is also called gluteal surface. Why? Because gluteus muscle is attached. Three of the gluteus, maximus, medius and minimus, they are attached here. So on the gluteal surface, we have three lines. So the first line, one is the anterior gluteal line, one is the posterior gluteal line, and one is the inferior gluteal line, right? So the anterior gluteal line, it extends from 5 cm behind the anterior superior iliac spine and ends at the upper point of this sciatic notch, right? This is anterior gluteal line, right? Then we have posterior gluteal line. Posterior gluteal line extends from 5 cm behind the posterior superior iliac spine and ends into the upper part of the sciatic notch, right? Then we have one inferior gluteal line which extends from the area 5 cm behind the anterior superior iliac spine, area in front and behind the anterior superior iliac spine, and ends onto the upper surface of sciatic notch. So this is inferior gluteal line. So we have three lines: anterior, posterior and inferior gluteal lines. First one is anterior gluteal line, which extends from this 4 cm behind the anterior superior iliac spine and ends on the middle of the sciatic notch. This is posterior, anterior, this is posterior from 5 cm from the posterior superior iliac spine to the upper margin of the sciatic notch. This is posterior, and inferior lies between this area behind the anterior inferior iliac spine to the lower part of the sciatic notch, right? So we have three gluteal lines. The ilium part is finished. Now we have ischium. Ischium has two ends, right? This is upper, this is lower end, right? It has three surface: pelvic surface, right? Pelvic surface, dorsal surface and lateral surface. Three surface of ischium: pelvic surface, which is towards the inner side, pelvic surface. This is lateral surface and dorsal surface. Three surfaces, two ends, upper and lower end, right? Now, it has three borders also. So borders are the anterior border. Here we have anterior border, posterior border, and we have lateral border, right? This is ischium. This is greater sciatic notch, right? The posterior border of this ischium extends from this sciatic notch, ischial spine. Sciatic notch ends into the ischial spine, right? And posterior part forms the ischial tuberosity. So this one is the ischial tuberosity, right? Anterior border forms the boundary of margin of the obturator foramen, right? Lateral border is towards the lateral side below the acetabulum, right? Now come to the pubic bone, pubis. So it is the midline, it lies in the midline. So it has three surfaces: pelvic surface, outer surface or dorsal surface, and medial surface. medial surface will articulate with the pubic bone of the opposite side. Anterior surface will face anteriorly. Posterior surface or pelvic surface is posteriorly, right? Now we have the upper margin of the pubic symphysis is thickened to form the pubic crest. So pubic crest, it ends in a tubercle called pubic tubercle. So this is pubic tubercle. Pubic crest ends into the pubic tubercle, right? Then it forms the iliopubic eminence, right? Crest. Then this is the pectinate line. This is iliopubic eminence, which forms the arcuate line. When we discuss the true and lesser pelvis, we will discuss these boundaries. So pubic symphysis, we have pubic crest, which ends into a tubercle, pubic tubercle. Then we have pectinate line. Then we have iliopubic eminence, right? Now it has 3 borders and 3 surfaces again. Upper surface is called, these are the rami. This is the conjoined ischiopubic rami, right? This is the ischial rami, right? So we will discuss the ramus, conjoined ischiopubic. This is the pectinate line or superior border. This is the anterior or obturator crest. This is the inferior border, right? This is the pectinate line or superior border. This is the anterior border or obturator crest. This is the inferior border, which forms the margin of the obturator foramen, right? Now the surface between superior and anterior border is called pectineal surface. This is pectineal surface. Surface between the obturator crest and the inferior border is called inferior surface. Surface between the pectineal line and the inferior border is called pubic or pelvic surface, right? 3 surfaces. This is pectineal surface. In between the superior and anterior border or the pectineal line or obturator crest lies the pectineal surface. Below the obturator crest, in between the anterior and inferior lies the inferior surface. In between the superior and inferior lies the pelvic surface, right? So these are the 3 surfaces and borders of conjoined ischiopubic rami. So likewise, the lower ramus of ischium or pubis, both, they have 2 borders and 2 surfaces, upper border and lower border, inner surface and outer surface. Inner surface is also called pelvic surface.